So today's video is going to be different than a lot of my other videos because today's video is going to be more of a brief discussion on everything going on with Kanye West and Adidas and kind of the whole controversy surrounding what's happening. And I feel like it's important first off to say that while I have been a fan of Kanye in the past, the things that he said recently and the things that he's done recently have been, it's gotten to a point where I just can't support it. And he said some incredibly hateful things that are wrong. And I think that actions deserve consequences. And I think that this is something that, a lot of people saw coming a mile away. And I'm going to be honest, I think a lot of this is warranted. And it's just a really crazy situation. And it's unfortunate to see someone that you used to look up to absolutely deal with most likely some mental illness. I don't know his situation. I don't know what he's going through. I don't know anything about his life. So I don't want to, get too deep into that. But I feel like this whole situation is gotten to a point that, I wasn't going to make a video on it, but I should. So I'm not going to get into the details of what Kanye West said and his anti-Semitic remarks. If you want to look into that, you can. It's very easy to find on the internet. Again, do not condone it. It is absolutely wrong what he said, and I think it's really unfortunate that he said those things and put that out there. And again, I'm not surprised that these brands have dropped him. To give you guys some background on what's happened, over the last couple months, he's been having some, drama with brands like Adidas and Balenciaga and Gap, and brands that he felt like have done him wrong by maybe borrowing his design language or doing things that he felt were personal attacks. And in some cases, I don't think that he's completely off base. For example, when he went at Adidas saying that they were copying his Yeezy Slide design, while I don't think that's a great example of Adidas sort of borrowing design from Kanye, I feel like that has happened in the past. I mean, if you look at some of Adidas' sneakers from 2016, they're absolutely, more accessible versions of the Yeezy sneakers without giving Kanye any credit or giving him any monetary benefit from releasing those shoes. So I do understand what he's saying in those cases, and I do understand that I'm sure, Gap and Adidas offered him a lot of creative freedom, and he felt like they were kind of going back on that a little bit. Totally get that. That's fine. That's not really exactly what has caused this whole controversy that's currently happening. Currently, he said some things that are inappropriate and wrong. And in that sense, I think that, yes, what these brands have done is the right thing to do. I think you can't be associated with something like that. And I mean, over the last 24 hours, pretty much every brand that he's worked with has dropped him. Adidas just dropped him. Balenciaga dropped him. Gap dropped him. Some of these brands dropped him a couple days earlier, or a couple weeks earlier, like his bank dropped him. I think even his management company and his label have dropped Ye. I mean, you've got Kim Kardashian tweeting that she does not agree with anything that he said. So I feel like it's gotten to a point now where, he's really lost a lot. And I think deservedly so when you say things like that. But in today's video, because my channel is a sneaker channel, I do want to focus more on the Adidas side of things because that's the one that really relates to what my subscribers, you guys, are interested in and the sort of hobby that you guys are into, which is sneakers, and I'm into that hobby as well. And Kanye West has been such a big presence in the sneaker industry, one of the most influential designers out there, especially with Adidas. I mean, obviously, the Nike Yeezy 1s and Yeezy 2s were incredibly popular shoes, but when he went to Adidas, it took it to another level and made him a billionaire. And I think he did some really great work with Adidas. And the fact that Adidas is dropping him is a pretty monumental shift when it comes to sneakers. So I do kind of want to cover that and talk about that because it really will have a pretty major impact on sneaker culture as a whole, especially because one of the most hyped up sneakers out there and one of the most, popular releases of the last, at this point, 6 years has been Yeezys. Yeezy 350s, Yeezy Foam Runners, Yeezy Slides. So it's going to be a pretty major change and a pretty dramatic change. So let me read Adidas' statement regarding this. I'm going to read the whole thing just so you guys get a full understanding of what's going on because even though it is a little bit long-winded, at the same time it does go over a lot of stuff that I feel like is important and really add some clarity to this situation. So the statement starts off with the title, Adidas terminates partnership with Ye immediately. Adidas does not tolerate anti-Semitism or any other sort of hate speech. Ye's recent comments and actions have been unacceptable, hateful, and dangerous, and they violate the company's value of diversity and inclusion, mutual respect, and fairness. After thorough review, the company has taken the decision to terminate the partnership with Ye immediately, end production of Yeezy branded products, and stop all payments to Ye and his companies. Adidas will stop the Adidas Yeezy business with immediate effect. This is expected to have short-term negative impact of up to €250 million on the company's net income in 2022, given the high seasonality of the fourth quarter. Adidas is the sole owner of all design rights to existing products as well as previous and new colorways under the partnership. More information will be given as part of the company's upcoming Q3 earnings announcement on November 9th, 2022. So there are a couple things that can be taken from this. The first thing is that they're standing their ground and they're saying that they do not support what Kanye is saying, and they're canceling the partnership because of that, and I think that's absolutely fair. Now, I did put out on Twitter, and actually YouTube and Instagram as well, just the headline of Adidas dropping Kanye, and I asked for people's thoughts, and I got a lot of mixed thoughts. It was interesting to see. I think everyone has a right to their own opinion, and while I don't agree with everyone's opinion, I think everyone has the right to give their own opinion. So some of the comments that I got were things like, this is exactly what Kanye wanted to happen. And while he first started having these issues with Adidas, I think he did want to immediately terminate the contract. He was going to sue them, stuff like that. The fact that he's been dropped by not only Adidas, but also every other company that he works with, including his bank, I don't think he was bargaining for that. And I think that what he said and what he's dealing with is probably much bigger than we initially expected. So I don't know if this is the outcome that he expected or wanted, even though, yes, he got out of his contract with Adidas. I just feel like it didn't have to happen this way. This is like a pretty extreme. So while I guess I understand when people are saying this is what he wanted to happen, at the same time, I don't know. I can't 100% get behind that. The next paragraph says, after a thorough review, the company has taken the decision to terminate the partnership with Ye immediately and production of Yeezy branded products and stop all payments to Ye and his companies. Adidas will stop the Yeezy business with immediate effect. The question that arises from that is obviously Adidas is no longer producing Yeezy shoes. They are no longer working with Kanye West or any of his, team or any of the businesses that he started, and they're shutting down the Yeezy business. Now, that does make me wonder, are they still going to sell the existing product that they have? I would assume that they are. I don't know exactly how they're going to go about that. I don't think that they're going to sit on probably, I'm sure it's like 6 months worth of product. We've seen that they have most likely the 350 V1 Pirate Blacks already made, so I don't know exactly how they're going to deal with that, because it does say in the next paragraph that this is going to have a negative impact on their net income in 2022 given the fourth quarter, and I would presume if they're trying to sell off all their product, they would do it in the fourth quarter. So I don't know if they're going to sell the product that they have, if they're going to hold it and destroy it. I have no idea. But that's something that I think we'll find out in the next couple months, as whether we see if they have Yeezy drops or not. And then it also says on the final paragraph, Adidas is the sole owner of all design rights to existing products as well as previous and new colorways under this partnership, which means that Yeezy Foam Runners are no more, Yeezy 350s are no more, all of those shoes are no more. Now, I've heard from different sources that the Yeezy Slide is actually owned. The design of the Yeezy Slide is owned by Kanye West and Yeezy. So it's possible that he will still release those shoes, manufacturing them on his own, shipping them on his own through Yeezy Supply. I don't know if Yeezy Supply uses Adidas fulfillment. I would assume that they do, but I'm not sure. But based on this statement, it sounds like that he doesn't own Yeezy Slides, so I have no idea. I'm honestly not clear on that at all. It seems like Adidas does own everything, so who knows? Regardless, that means that Foam Runners are no more. Which is honestly pretty sad, because I really love the Foam Runner silhouette, and 350s are no more, which again is also pretty sad because the 350 is a pretty amazing, influential sneaker. So Adidas doing this makes sense, but it is sad to see a partnership that was so influential end this way. I wish it had ended differently, and I wish that we were still able to get Yeezy sneakers that we all love. On kind of a side note, and this is so unimportant, but it is something that I think a lot of sneakerheads are going to think about, is what will this do to the resale value of Yeezys? Obviously, when Kobe Bryant passed, the price of his shoes skyrocketed, and I don't agree with that, but that's what happened. So it's interesting to see whether this is going to skyrocket the resale price of Adidas Yeezys or destroy the price of Adidas Yeezys, because I think a lot of people no longer back Kanye West and will not buy his shoes. So I think that could have a pretty serious effect. At the same time, there's a lot of people out there who are trying to profit off of this situation. So I think it could go either way. And I've checked StockX earlier. I'll check it again. It is pretty early in the morning, but I'll check it again, see if anything's changed. From what I saw earlier, it looked like the price was pretty similar, but now that I'm looking at the Turtle Doves, the 2022 Turtle Doves, it says the price is now $177 lower than the last sale. So based on this, it almost seems like prices are dropping a little bit. But let me go to, I don't know, something like let's check out some Foam Runners. Here we go. Let's go to the Ararats. So the Ararats in a size 9, which is my size, are currently at $222. Based on the previous price history of the Ararats, it looks like they have gone down. At the same time, this is like at the morning of this all getting announced, so that could change very quickly. I don't know. At the time of recording this, prices seem to be stable, if not going down a little bit. So interesting to see what happens. We'll monitor that over the next, couple weeks, see how that kind of plays out. But yeah, this is a pretty wild situation. And obviously Gap and Balenciaga both dropped Kanye. But I don't think that will have the impact that Adidas dropping Kanye will have, because obviously, as Kanye said, the Yeezy sneakers were a big part of Adidas' business, and they've even, verified that. They said that we're going to have a drop in earnings because we're not selling Yeezys anymore, one of their best-selling product lines. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be kind of wild to see the impact that this has on the sneaker market and the sneaker culture in general. So yeah, this is honestly a pretty sad situation. I wish it didn't have to end this way, but I don't think Adidas was in the wrong ending it this way. I think that was the right thing for them to do. And I think it sucks that Kanye has gone about doing things this way. I think it was really really unfortunate. So yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I know this was a shorter video, but I felt like it was something we should talk about. I'd love to have some discussions with you guys. I'll be commenting back in the comment section of this video, and maybe in the future I'll do sort of a follow-up once we know more of what's happening. But honestly, an end of an era when it comes to sneakers. Like, the Adidas Yeezy line was one of the most popular sneaker lines of all time, and now it's over. So it's crazy. It really is crazy. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.